Hi my friend, Pat Sloan here with my daily video, and today I have a challenge. And I know some of you aren't going to want to take this challenge, but I stepped up and I did it, and I'm going to show you. Actually, I'm going to actually do it right here on the video, okay? What is it? It's the deep dark spaces in our studio, in our closets, under the bed, in the basement, in the trunk of the car. You have a bag, a box, a container with old projects you haven't looked at in a very long time. You may not even remember what's in that box. So my challenge for you this weekend is to get that box and open it up. Open it up, take a look at what's in there, and make some sort of decision. Either yes, you're going to keep it, or like you go, oh my goodness, why do I still have that? So let's take a look at mine. I went and got one of my bins here. It's heavy. These are old metal, these are old metal containers. I actually used to have them all on my shelves with fabric in them, but now I've got them on some heavy duty shelving in my auxiliary space in the dining room. So first of all, I climbed up on the ladder and I got the bin down, and I found this fabric that I had been looking for. So I kept looking in my shelf space up here for this fabric, because I'm like, I am sure that I had a big piece of this fabric, and I would look and look and I couldn't find it. I'm like, maybe I used it. So no, it was up on the other shelf where it shouldn't have been. So now I found that. That was good. That was a good adventure. See what was in there. So this project bin, these are some older projects. They're tops, and some backings to go with the tops. So let's take a look at these tops. I know what they are just by looking at the edges, I think. So I'm going to take, I think there's 1, 2, 3, I think there's 4 tops in here, but who knows, there might be a 5th, and it'll be exciting. So this one is one of our sew-alongs, and I believe it was vacation time. I did 2 colors, 2 different colorways when we did that, and this is one of them. I don't know if I ever quilted the other one or not, I can't remember, but here it is. So this is vacation time. Well, my chair's not, makes a better door than a window, right? You've heard that one. So this one is in there, and I have some backing. It is a mix of batiks and cottons, and I have this red batik in here for, this is one of my older fabric lines, so that's in there to do. Because I'm going to make a mess of this. I'm going to have to fold it all back up afterwards. Now this one I don't quite remember. I do now. Okay. I believe, oh yeah, okay, I remember this one. This isn't what I was thinking. So this is a pattern of mine called Never Enough Chocolate, and I've done it in many, many colors. You can get it on my digital store. And here is a blue and white version, and these are another mix of batiks and cottons and all different kind of fun stuff in here. I like it. This is cool. I think that's what the pattern, yeah, that is the pattern. And so in that bin also is a piece, I think this is for binding. So, but I don't know that I would use that, but that's what it's, I think that's what it's in there for. Okay, the next 2, I definitely know what they are. This one is really interesting. It has some story to it. The blocks are vintage blocks. They're vintage Dresden plate blocks that I purchased. So here you go. So you can see there's the vintage Dresden plate blocks that I had bought, and I just love them. They are so cool. Look at that. And I put the circles in the center, the black and white polka dot. That did not come with them. They didn't have any centers. Now the background is also interesting. I believe it's some sort of linen blend, and it has a little bit of shimmer to it. I bought this when I was taking a couple days and visiting my friend Victoria Finley Wolf in New York City, and we went to the garment district and did a little shopping, and so both she and I bought a piece of this shimmering silver at the time. Now I do have this that I had saved for the backing. Well, I think somebody may have given me this. Maybe when I was teaching and I liked it, so they gave it to me. Ta-da! So there I have, it's probably not quite white enough, but we'll see. We'll see what I can do with that. This is like fun. Now the last one, I do know what it is. This is some blocks I did from the Farmer's Wife book. Years ago, there was a bunch of us that started sewing along with that, just different designers, and I was using this mermaid, this Heather Ross fabric that was with mermaids and stuff. Oh, look at that in the middle. I was wondering why it's so thick. So this, let me just show it to you first. So these are a lot of smaller blocks, but the fabric is what's special. And here we go. Ta-da! I just love it. This Heather Ross fabric has these raspberries and gold. See, and I added polka dots, and it's got, see, look at the mermaids. Lots of mermaids and octopus in there. There we go. See the octopus in there, and leopard prints. I've got some good leopard print. Now some of this fabric came from my friend John Adams, because when I started with this, the fabric was super popular and it was just zooming out of the stores, and I just needed a little bit more to add, a little bit more variety, so he sent me some of his pieces that he wasn't going to use, and that is what I got on there. So it's a great memory, and it seems I did the backing. All right, this is a piece backing. There we go. Lots of yummy colors on there, burgundies and browns, so it's a wild backing. I love it. So that is in my mystery bin, my deep dark space. So there were 4 quilts in there, 4 tops, and as of right now I probably will want to get at least 3 of them done. The first one I showed you, the vacation time, since I do have 2 of those quilts, I might end up sending that one off to charity, just to let somebody else enjoy it, because I don't need 2 of them. So fun stuff. So that's what you're going to do today. You're going to do what I just did and go through a bin and see what you can come up with. Now, speaking of UFOs, you know, I'm going to do my red and white checkerboard with my Morrison Park, and this is my last piece of the Morrison Park red that I have. And what was interesting is I started, you know, I took it off I got all of my fabric this last time on the rolls that they get into the warehouse. You know, when the fabric first comes into the warehouse, it comes like this, then they roll it off onto bolts, or if they're going to do pre-cuts or whatever they're going to do, but it comes on these rolls. And then when I cut it off the rolls, I know I wasn't always super careful to make the edges, you know, like totally straight. Sometimes I was just winging it, which means that the edges are not totally even. And this is something that happens when you buy fabric as well. Sometimes it gets on the bolt and it's a tiny bit twisted. It's not totally even on that edge. And one of the things that we do is we sort of assume the edges should line up when we get ready to trim. When we get ready to make our cuts, we'll take our fabric. Here is some yardage. Here you can see the bottom salvage edge. So here is the yardage. And if you've ever sort of cut your edges, but then at the fold it seems to not be straight afterwards, like it gets that curve in it or whatever. Sometimes that's because when you went to cut this edge, it wasn't actually straight. It was twisted. I'm going to see if I can show you that on this example, because this example is definitely twisted. Well, not twisted, it's definitely not even. And here you can see that on this edge. Do you see? That is not even. But if I took this and assumed that it was. So I'm going to assume it's even, which means you're matching the edges, right? You're going, oh, let me just get this straight. Let me just match everything. But when you do that, and you're matching the bottom edge, but when you do that, I'm going to hold this, and I think you're going to see, do you see how that's got like a wave in it? You can see that. It's not flat. And that's because you can't match these edges. You're twisting the fabric. You're twisting it over. What I should be doing is taking it and holding it straight, getting it straight, and then sort of, folding it over and seeing where it lines up. So I'm holding it like this to get the edges at the bottom lined up. And now, hopefully I got to do it this way. And now when I'm holding this, you can see on this side, it's not even. And on that side, it's not even. But when I hold it like here, you don't get that twist across it that we had before, that twist along that left side. So there you go. If you've been wondering, if you've never really taken your fabric and held it flat and just tried to find, where it's actually the fold line really is, versus you forcing the fold line and causing that twist in the fabric, which then causes folds at the bend. Hope that was something new you learned. If you have a different way of doing it, let me know, because we can all learn something. It's never too late to learn something new, is it? Okay, so wrap it up today. I found one of my favorite books is 50% off over at the Fat Quarter Shop. So I thought I'd tell you about it, because if you are doing some shopping, you just pop this in your cart. It is like $7.49 for 10 patterns. Here is one of my favorites. These are super cool. But let me just show you. Here is the book. This is by Jerry Robinson, and she used all sort of white, fresh backgrounds with colors that are sort of summery and Americana, which I really like. Now on this page here, you can see this trio. Aren't they great? These would make great quilts of valor. I really like this block when it's made up in a quilt. She also did a swatch page in her book. So you could match, like over here rather, you could match on the swatch page like what fabrics you were using. And these big cushions, the pattern is fabulous. And you wouldn't have to do a cushion. You could do like a big baby quilt, or you could do 4 of them, and that would be a great lap quilt. Let me show you this one. Yeah, I really like how that one looks. It's a lot of background, but it also uses up a bunch of fat quarters and a couple then of, I think she's got half-yard pieces too, a few half-yard pieces. Here is one of the Americana ones with the stars and stripes. So anyways, wanted you to get in on this. If you love that and you're looking for some sort of fresh, summery quilts to make, easy, great. Buy some white fabric while you're at it so you can use it for the background. Okay, out of all of these quilts that I pulled out of there today, I think this is the one I want to get quilted next. From the Farmer's Wife book. I mean, I just want to hang this up. It just makes me happy. Fabulous. Thank you, my friends. Thank you for being here. Links are down below. While you're there, subscribe. I love you. Mwah. See you online.